It started with a phone call late last July. Doctor said, you better sit down, son, and I cried. Mama's breathing got weaker, the crops all turned brown, and the factory shut the gates in this worn out town. I dropped to my knees by that old pine tree, said, Lord, I'm broken, are you still with me? 'Cause I can't see the road through these tears in my eyes, but the whisper in my soul that never dies. When everything falls apart, when the world turns cold, when you're holding on to nothing but a slipping rope. Faith ain't just for Sundays in a front row pew, it's for nights in the dark when it carries you through. The storm may rage and the thunder may roll, but I'm still standing when faith holds. We buried Mama in a dress she wore to church. I held Daddy's hand while he held back the hurt. Sold my truck to keep the lights on and food in the fridge, but grace showed up at the end of every ridge. Found a Bible in a box marked keep her tossed, with her notes in the margins all about the cross. Now I read those verses by candlelight, and they shine like stars in the blackest night. And everything falls apart when the world turns cold, when you're holding on to nothing but a slipping rope. Faith ain't just for Sundays in a front row pew, it's for nights in the dark when it carries you through. The storm may rage and the thunder may roll, but I'm still standing when faith holds. And I ain't saying I don't still hurt, but I know now how heaven works. God don't promise we won't break, he just promises he won't walk away. Got a job fixing fences on a neighbor's land, met a girl with a heart and a gentle hand. Told her everything, didn't hide my scars. She smiled and said, that's how you know who you are. Now I thank God for the pain I've known, 'cause he built my faith from the seeds I sown. When everything fell apart and the nights ran long, it was faith that gave my soul its fighting song. It ain't just words in a leather-bound book, it's the light that found me in every dark look. The winds may howl and the cold may bite, but I held on 'cause he held me tight. When faith holds, yeah, when faith holds. So if you're out there feeling lost and low, just know you'll make it through the fire and the cold when faith holds. I was raised where the cotton don't grow tall, dry dirt roads and a trailer with patched up walls. Daddy preached with a Bible in his calloused hand, said, son, life ain't fair, but God's got a plan. I've wandered far, I've cussed the sky, laid on my back and begged to die. But somewhere deep inside my pain, I heard my Father's voice again. There's grace in the valley, mercy in the rain, strength when you're empty, healing in the pain. You might be lost and barely standing, but God's still holding what you can't handle when the night is dark and your faith feels small. There's grace in the valley, and that grace saves us all. I lost my job when the mill shut down, bills stacked high in this no-name town. My baby cried when I pawned her ring, and I couldn't give her anything. I hit my knees out in that field, hands to heaven, heart to heal. And just like rain on drought-cracked land, I felt His peace inside my hands. There's grace in the valley, mercy in the rain, strength when you're empty, healing in the pain. You might be lost and barely standing, but God's still holding what you can't handle. When the night is dark and your faith feels small, there's grace in the valley, and that grace saves us all. It ain't about the mountaintops, it's who you are when the climb won't stop. When all you've got is broken praise, that's where you find amazing grace. Now I'm standing in a Sunday pew beside my wife, our baby too. I sing the hymns I used to doubt with a voice that's been through fire and drought. There's grace in the valley, hope in the tears, a light that leads through our darkest fears. You might be bruised, but you're not broken. Your prayers don't need to be well spoken. When the weight is heavy and you hit a wall, there's grace in the valley, and that grace saves us all. Yeah, God walked slow through the lowlands too, and His grace found me when I couldn't move. Packed up dreams in a cardboard box, laid off last spring, yeah, that door locked. Wife's holding on, but the bills ain't slowing, and I keep asking, Lord, where's this going? The tractor's broke and the land's gone dry, but I still look up at that evening sky. Sometimes I swear He's silent as the dawn, but something in me keeps holding on. 'Cause He ain't early, He ain't late, He moved the stars, He parts the waves. When all I see is a mountain climb, He shows up strong, right on time. It's not my plan, but it's His grace that writes the story in His pace. So I'll keep walking through the unknown night, waiting on God to be right on time. Mama used to say, faith ain't sight. You plant your prayers in the middle of the night, and even when the answers feel far away, God's still working in the unseen clay. I've learned His silence ain't His no. Sometimes it just means I gotta grow. I've cursed the sky, then fell to my knees, but somehow His mercy still finds me. 'Cause He early, He ain't late, He moves the stars, He parts the waves. When all I see is a mountain climb, He shows up strong, right on time. It's not my plan, but it's His grace that writes the story in His pace. So I'll keep walking through the unknown night, waiting on God to be right on time. I see the morning breaking through the haze, and a whisper in my soul says keep the faith. 'Cause every trial, every tear I cried led me right here to His perfect design. Now the crop's coming and the baby's due, the job came through like a sky turned blue. And all those nights I thought He was gone, He was just busy making me strong. He wasn't early, He wasn't late, He moved the stars, He shaped my fate. When all I saw was a mountain climb, He showed up strong, right on time. It wasn't my plan, but it was His grace that wrote the story in the sweetest way. So I'll keep trusting through every climb, waiting on God to be right on time. Yeah. missed a sign. I'm still holding on, he's always right on time. I was raised on Sunday mornings, Mama's Bible in her hand. She'd whisper prayers in the kitchen while the coffee hit the pan. Daddy lost his job one winter, but he never lost his pride. He said, son, God don't always answer fast, but he's always on time. But now I'm standing in this valley with no light up ahead, feeling like my prayers just echo back inside my head. But I still bow my head, still fold my hands, even when I don't understand. When the silence cuts like a bitter chill, I hold on 'cause heaven hears me still. It ain't about seeing signs and wonders in the sky, it's trusting even when God's quiet on the line. Yeah, I walk by faith, not by what I feel, and I believe heaven hears me still. Lost a friend last summer, too young for goodbye. Stared at that gravestone and asked the Lord why. His mama broke down, holding tight to her son's old coat. Said God's got him now, though her voice barely spoke. Sometimes it feels like shouting into the wind, but I still speak his name again and again. Yeah, I still bow my head, still fold my hands, even when I don't understand. When the silence cuts like a bitter chill, I hold on 'cause heaven hears me still. It ain't about seeing signs and wonders in the sky, it's trusting even when God's quiet on the line. Yeah, I walk by faith, not by what I feel, and I believe heaven hears me still. I've learned that mountains don't always move, sometimes God just walks you through. And every tear I've cried, he kept them all. He's closer than the silence, even when he don't speak at all. Now my little girl's asleep, her Bible on her chest, and I whisper one more prayer before I get some rest. Lord, if you're listening, I won't ask for much tonight. Just give her peace when life gets hard and storms still are light. So I bow my head, still fold my hands, even when I don't understand. When the silence cuts like a bitter chill, I hold on 'cause heaven hears me still. It ain't about seeing signs and wonders in the sky, it's trusting even when God's quiet on the line. Yeah, I walk by faith, not by what I feel, and I believe heaven hears me still. So when it's quiet and the night is long, I keep praying, I keep holding on, 'cause heaven hears me still. Rain's coming sideways, the wind's howling loud, the truck won't start, and the bills are stacking now. I stare at the sky like I'm looking for a sign. Man can hold on, but not all the time. I poured out my soul on the dashboard cross, said, Lord, I'm hurting, I feel so lost. But there's peace in the storm if you just believe. When the night is the darkest, he don't ever leave. I can't see the way, but he's leading me on like a lighthouse peace in the storm when you're down on your knees. Mama used to say, son, storms don't last, but pain don't listen when it's coming fast. Whiskey don't heal and pride don't pray, but I'm learning slow to give God the reins. I folded my anger with my calloused hands, whispered a prayer, Lord, help me stand. 'Cause there's peace in the storm if you just believe. When the night is the darkest, He don't ever leave. I can't see the way, but He's leading me on like a lighthouse, steady till the waves are gone. And I'm not alone, no, I've come to see. There's peace in the storm when you're down on your knees. It ain't about the weather, it's the war inside. But faith's a fire that the rain can't hide. And when I let go, I found my fight. Not in my strength, but in God's might. Sun broke through on a Sunday morn, hit my porch like a crown of thorns. I smiled through tears, said I made it through. And I know now what the Lord can do. Yeah, there's peace in the storm if you just believe. When your heart's broke wide, He still won't leave. I couldn't see the way, but He led me on like a hymn that carried me all night long. I ain't alone, and now I'm free. Found peace in the storm. God rescued me. So when thunder rolls and the dark wind roars, just whisper His name, and there's peace in the storm. Daddy's boots by the front door, dust from years gone by. Mama's Bible on the table, pages worn but never dry. The roof leaked every spring, but somehow we'd get by. We didn't have much, but we had faith money couldn't buy. I used to ask the Lord, why's the road so steep? Till I learned some blessings only come through broken knees. I carry that cross like He carried mine, through the fire, through the valley, come rain or shine. Ain't always easy, but I ain't alone. He's walking beside me, even when I roam. Yeah, life gets heavy, but I count the cost. And every day I rise, I carry that cross. I lost a brother in a crash and a job the week before. The bottle whispered comfort, but it never healed the war. I fell hard on the floor, thought I couldn't take much more. But grace came knocking through that old church door. I heard the preacher say, son, you're not too far. And I found redemption where I buried all my scars. I carry that cross like He carried mine, through the fire, through the valley, come rain or shine. Ain't always easy, but I ain't alone. He's walking beside me, even when I roam. Yeah, life gets heavy, but I count the cost. And every day I rise, I carry that cross. There's glory in the gravel, there's peace in the pain. Every trial's just a lesson in Jesus' name. I don't need a mansion or streets paved in gold, just a heart that's humble and a hand to hold. Now my boy asks me, Daddy, why you kneel and pray? I say, son, that's how I make it through the day. You'll walk some roads where shadows fall and toss, but never let go, just carry that cross, like he carried mine through the fire, through the valley, come rain or shine. Ain't always easy, but I ain't alone. He's walking beside me, even when I roam. Yeah, life gets heavy, but I count the cost, and every day I rise, I carry that cross. One day I'll lay it down at heaven's gate, but till that trumpet sounds, I'll carry my weight. I carry that cross. Yeah, I carry that cross. The bank took the truck, the rain took the crop, the fire took the house, now the pain won't stop. Staring at the sky from a fold-out chair, with a bottle in my hand and a vacant stare. I lost my job, lost my pride, even buried Mama last July. When it felt like nothing could get worse, I fell to my knees in the red clay dirt. Said, Lord, if you're real, I need you now. I'm out of answers, show me how. But he never let go, not even then, when I cursed his name and turned from him. When the nights were long and hope ran dry, when I had nothing but a tear-stained white, he held my heart through every blow. No, he never let go. Found an old Bible in Mama's trunk, pages torn, the leather sunk. To Psalm 34 I read the verse, the Lord is close to the broken and hurt. The dusty book became my friend. I read it once, then read again, and slowly faith began to rise, like sunlight spilling through stormy skies. And I prayed, Lord, I still don't understand, but I'm reaching for your nail-scarred hand. 'Cause you never let go, not even then, when I cursed your name and turned from sin. When the world went dark and I lost my light, you whispered truth through the endless night. You held my soul through every blow. Lord, you never let go. Now I stand on scorched up land, but my feet are firm and I understand. Faith ain't built when life is sweet, it's born where sorrow and mercy meet. I've got a hammer and some nails, rebuilding slow where my life once fell. And every board I raise I pray, thank you, Lord, for yesterdays. You never let go, not for a breath. You were fighting for me when I faced death. You lit a fire where the ashes blew, and turned my ruin into something new. Now I walk with you, and this I know, you never let go. Yeah, the storm came hard and I lost control, but I never lost you. You never let go. coffee's cold, boots are worn. Another day out in this field since dawn. Bills stacking up like winter wood, and I've done all I can, all I could. But that old tractor won't start again, and I whisper, Lord, tell me when. But somewhere in the still of this simple place, I swear I feel a whisper of grace. 'Cause there are miracles in the dust, in the dirt, in the quiet prayers that barely work, in Sunday hymns and a baby's cry, in wrinkled hands and tear-filled eyes. He don't always split the sea. Sometimes he just walks with me through broken roads and worn out trust. Yeah, there are miracles in the dust. That old dog limps but wags his tail, and I watch my boy ride the fence rail. My woman's laughing in the kitchen light. After all we've faced, she's still by my side. 100 ways we could have lost, but we're still here, and that's the cross. And I see the holy in the small things, like how a sparrow sings in pouring rain. There are miracles in the grime, in the quiet strength of taking time, and silent nights and weary hands, and second chances and wedding bands. He don't always shake the ground, but he's the peace when no one's around, in faded dreams, and God we trust. Yeah, there are miracles in the dust. I used to wait for signs from the sky, thunder rolls and fire on high, but now I see him in the worn wood pew, in the way she says, I believe in you. So I rise each day with aching knees, but my soul stands tall like the maple trees. I may never see what I thought I would, but he's been good, Lord, he's been good. There are miracles in the dust, and holding on when there's nothing gained, in the hush of dawn, in a whispered prayer, in the love that stays in the cross we bear. He may not move the mountain fast, but he gives me strength to make it last. In every scar, in every rust, yeah, there are miracles in the dust. The coffee's cold, but the sun breaks through, and I've got work and faith in you. That old truck died on a Monday morning, bills stacked high like the Georgia pines. The roof still leaks when the rain comes pouring, and I can't see end of the line. My hands are calloused, heart worn thin, but I ain't let the dark take me in. Mama's words come back so clear, boy, don't let your hope disappear. I'll choose faith over fear, even when I'm standing in the fire, when the night gets cold and I'm down to wire. I ain't got much, but I've still got prayer. I know my God is always there. Storms may howl and doubt draws near, but I'll hold tight to faith over fear. She left to know by the kitchen table, said she's tired of watching dreams run dry. 10 years gone and I still ain't stable, just a blue-collar man who tries. But I whispered, Lord, don't let me break, as I watched her tail lights fade away. and I still believe in better days. The wind may scream, the sky ain't clear, but I'll stand firm in faith over fear. It ain't easy when the light won't shine, but I've seen heaven show up right on time. Every valley, every scar led me closer to where you are. Now the sun breaks through that morning haze. I got a second job and a newborn face. She came back home with a softened heart, said, I see now who you really are. It wasn't luck that kept me strong, it was a God I've leaned on all along. So I choose faith over fear, even when the battle ain't done, 'cause the fight ain't lost when it's fought with love. I ain't perfect, but I'm still here, 'cause grace is greater than every tear. When doubt returns, I won't let it steer. No, I'll keep on choosing faith over fear. Yeah, I'll keep walking through the unknown. With the Lord above, I'm never alone. Faith over fear. Faith over fear. That old Ford truck gave out last week, right there on that gravel road. A stack of bills and a busted fridge and a heart that's feeling low. She left a note on the counter saying, I can't keep living broke. So I dropped my knees in silence and whispered, Lord, don't let me go. I ain't asking for a miracle, just enough to stand my ground when the weight of the world tries to drag me down. I'm holding on when hope runs dry, when the river's gone and the well ain't wide, when the nights are long and the tears won't lie. I keep trusting in the sky, 'cause faith don't need a reason why. It just keeps walking through the fire. I'm standing still with lifted eyes, still holding on when hope runs dry. I see my mama's Bible on the shelf, worn pages marked with grace. She used to say God shows up best when you're out of strength and space. So I lace my boots, head out that door like I got heaven on my side. This broken road don't scare me now, 'cause I ain't walking blind. No thunderclap or parted sea, but I feel his hand in mine, and that's enough to carry me through another uphill climb. I'm holding on when hope runs dry, when the river's gone and the well ain't wide, when the nights are long and the tears won't lie. I keep trusting in the sky, 'cause faith don't need a reason why. It just keeps walking through the fire. I'm standing still with lifted eyes, still holding on when hope runs dry. And I've seen storms tear fences down and prayers go years unheard, but even then I know he's good. He keeps his every word. That truck still broke, but I got peace and a call from her last night. She said, I miss the man who don't give up. Can we try to make it right? Now I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I know who's holding me, and I'll keep standing on that promise like a tree beside the sea. I'm holding on when hope runs dry, when the storm rolls in and the sun won't rise, when when the world gives up and says goodbye, I keep trusting in the sky. 'Cause faith don't need a reason why, it just keeps walking through the fire. I'm still that man with lifted eyes, still holding on when hope